Hi guys.
Hi.
This is Etta and Arlene, and this is the first episode of our new podcast called Etta and Arlene. We don't have a cool name yet.
Nope, we don't. I'm thinking Etta Arlene Talks, maybe.
Something like that.
Etta Arlene Speaks. We speak.
Something along those lines. Yeah, we'll figure it out. So, we are both certified Reiki masters, and we're also certified in guided meditation.
Mm-hmm.
We're really interested in all things spiritual, metaphysical, holistic healing, energy healing.
Plant-based. I just want to throw that in there.
Okay, yeah. So anything like that, some may consider woo-woo, but we think we love it. And
yeah, I think, especially in the time that we're in right now, like, more people are waking up. So eventually this will not be as woo-woo, but this is the stuff that we've been into forever and didn't really speak about a lot because we were slightly afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, like, the fear of judgment, maybe. But now, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, we're hands in the air. We're going to talk about it. We're going to try to have guests on.
Yeah.
Talk about their spiritual journey.
Yeah. Transformation.
Some things we're into, like astrology, tarot, witchy stuff, too. Just the whole
everything.
genre, I guess.
Yeah. Books.
Yeah. We'll talk about some of the books we're reading. A lot of, like, manifesting, law of attraction. I mean, I don't know. I can't think of any other way to sum it up. First couple episodes. Oh, angels are good. Now that you talked about the angels, you're reading a book, Doreen Virtue, right?
Yeah, I'm reading Doreen Virtue's Divine Guidance.
I started that yesterday.
I think it came out in the 90s. Maybe late 80s, early 90s. But she's such an interesting person. And people might know her from, like, all of her oracle cards that she has. She's a ton of those angel cards and, like, fairy cards that people use for tarot all the time. That's actually how I discovered her, was from that. And I jumped into, the Doreen Virtue sphere of books and bought a ton of them. And I'm currently reading Divine Guidance, and it is an extremely good book, easy read, and pretty much gets straight to the point, I think, on how to strengthen your natural abilities to communicate with the divine source, God, whatever you want to call the greater energy that created us all.
Yeah, I think she speaks a lot of, like, the higher self as well. So I'm not as far along as you are, but I've noticed what stuck with me was releasing the ego.
The ego, and that was huge. She really makes it easy to understand what ego-based thinking is, the lower vibrating thinking, explains it and how she teaches you in that book how to easily decipher that and to pretty much say no. Like, this isn't what my higher self would do. This isn't what the higher living would be. This is just the low vibrating, con that I've been creating for myself.
Yeah, so, like, an ego thought is something that is
you're not good
negative.
Enough. It's lack.
Anything that makes you feel crappy about yourself, to be honest, and most of that stuff isn't true. So for me, I feel like the book's helping gain, like, clarity on that. So once you're able to release those energies and thoughts, it allows you to be able to connect with your higher self and your intuition and universal energy for guidance. That's what I've noticed. I'm really excited I'm hooked in. I'm not as far as long as you. I just kind of started it. I'm probably, like, 60 pages deep, but I'm really looking forward to
I'm further than you, but...
No, I thought you were at the Claire's already.
I'm already at the Claire's. I'm past Claire's. She helps you just decipher what, clairvoyance, clair audio, whatever, that you have the ability to connect with. And it's interesting because most people do know, but, like, children, see things and can hear things and, have imaginary friends or whatever. And then eventually when you get older and older and older, you start to disconnect from that. And she covers that as well, of things that people used to be able to, recognize or feel, and how you disconnect when you get older.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed you always hear children, speaking to imaginary friends. There's always stories or, like, talking about past lives and things. I mean, we have a relative. I won't put her on the spot because she would not be pleased. But I remember when she was a baby, she used to kind of like talk to things that weren't there. And I always wonder if it's like children speaking to like some sort of higher vibrational energy and maybe not just, like not just something in their head. And, we lose that as we get older. I mean, according to Doreen Virtue, that's what it is.
Yeah, according to her, that's what it is. But
she said that happened in her childhood, right? And then her mom...
Yeah, it happened in her childhood, and then her mom told her certain things weren't real and they were illusion or a product of her imagination. And then when she got older, she realized, hey, that was real, or hey, that was a thing. Like, me communicating with Source is a thing, or contacting my guardian angel, spirit team, whatever, is a thing.
Why not?
Why not? And I think it's more curious as to why do we get closed off to it? Why, like, everybody is a child at one point. Mm-hmm. So what happened in that, your parents' life, or, your people around you who are older, your elders, to make them so, like, no, it's not real. No. Don't do this. Don't do that. Follow this. Don't follow that.
Very, like, rigid about what you're allowed to do and believe in. It is peculiar. I mean,
is weird. Like, I'm grateful that our family, and like we have the mom that we have, and our had our family that were open to everything and did, I'm grateful every day about that.
Yeah, I'm always I always think about too how quick we like condemn people without knowing their experience.
Yes.
Like, it's like we don't understand the experience that they're having, so we instantly jump to something's wrong. Yeah, that person's weird. That person's crazy. But just because we aren't...
I don't understand
it, yeah. And sometimes I think that we just... And it's like that with everything, we don't understand things, and we're instantly jumping to it being something that's like bad for you or wrong, or that person's crazy, or I don't know.
Societal standards, societal programming.
You're saying like societal conditioning.
I think it's conditioning. I think it's programming. I think it's conditioning. We are conditioned to not like the person that's different. How many people are... It's a fear-based. Mm-hmm. It's fear-based. If you're like... just being around teenagers and kids, like if you are... a kid will stop wearing glasses because they were made fun of and told they look like Harry Potter. Like, why? Why do we do that? It's an issue with our society a little bit. A lot.
Well,
Not a little bit, a lot.
I mean, I think that that's kind of what all of this like, spiritual growth, like an awakening, they say is happening. I think that's what it is. It's like getting away from those lower fear-based thoughts. And, a lot of people are frustrated with society standards and such as a whole, and that, like, the constraints of not being able to access your true power. And when I say power, I'm not saying like you're running around flying and stuff. I'm saying like literally like being and doing what you want to do, living the life you want to live. Yeah, having a choice. Like, whatever. Just because that path works for some people might not work for others, and they're both, in my opinion, okay. Like, they're not wrong, but forcing people to do a certain way or live a certain lifestyle isn't
right.
Yeah.
So everybody's different. We're all different. And we all are called to this earth for different things and have our own path to walk. And it doesn't make sense for us all to be doctors, nurses, teachers. Like, we need the artists. We need the, philosophers. We need that.
Or sometimes it takes people longer to figure things out, and that's okay too. But I think that's where a lot of this, like, frustration and anxiety and stuff comes from, because we are not meant to do the same thing. We're meant to flourish, but we can flourish in different ways. And you do have that option. Knowing that option exists is a game changer. Mm-hmm. And then trying to reprogram and break away from the conditioning. I think that's why, like, the process can be long sometimes, because you are trying to undo and redo your programming. You're trying to... Like, whenever you start your spiritual journey, you're saying people get frustrated because they're not getting to where they want to be
immediately, because it takes time.
You have to heal.
At least in America, like, you're raised to go through the whole school system, go to college for something that you probably won't want to do because you need to make money. Kids are so young. 17 is pretty young to have your life figured out, and then instantly it's mind-blowing.
Be hurled into, like, financial debt.
It is mind-blowing.
Not even know why.
That's a whole other subject about that.
I think that, yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that. But
yeah.
We're raised to think that that's how you're supposed to do, and then you try to do that path and it might not work out for you, and you feel completely lost. And that does drive a lot of people to the spirituality and, you know, the searching for the purpose, searching for a meaning to life and what you should be doing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are drawn to it because they want to be happy and
happiness.
They're finding that, and I think like a sense of peace.
Mm-hmm.
You want to feel more peaceful. You want to be happy, and you want self-love, and it's like an escape from, you know, the life that's you're living that's making you feel like you aren't good enough. Like every time you get on social media, you're feeling like weird because you're not this way or that way. But then when you get into these mindfulness practices, you realize none of that matters. And that's like very refreshing. Like just realizing that there's so much more. And like the stuff that you worried about isn't really that big of a deal in the long run.
It's not. And how much stuff do people take for granted?
Mm-hmm.
All the time, every day. But that's what drove us, I think that's what drove us into this. Drove us into Reiki, drove us into, you know, put us on this path.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for sure. Yeah, I would say, for me, I was definitely feeling more like peace.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, just tackling things like self-love was really important. Like, that cycle, like, I have to keep doing this, I have to be this certain way, and then you realize, oh wait, I am fine the way I am, and it's making myself better because it makes me happy, not because I'm trying to like adhere to
a standard.
This is what you do when you're this age, this is what you do when you're that age, and trying to stay on the like schedule, you know, how you dress, how you do your hair, all that, like
you stop caring what people think. Do you?
Yeah, but now we're at the point where we're reading books about expanding our intuition and possibly communicating with angels and the like. And I mean, what's really important for me, what I'm really working on is getting rid of the ego, because the ego is like torture, I'll tell you.
The ego is torture. And we've been, you know, practicing mindfulness and spirituality and so on and so forth for years, and you have to understand you have to understand it. Like, that was like a aha moment for me with the way she was describing the ego-based thinking. So everybody knows, like, you know, use affirmations, use your mantras to try to, you know, to reprogram your subconscious mind. But you have to learn how to disconnect that voice that says that you suck or you're lacking in any way. And it can come in many different forms that you don't even realize.
Yeah, I think it happens, like, without you, like, even noticing it. The older you get. Yeah. Because it just little things like, oh, I want to do this, and then your voice in your head's like, you can't. You know,
you can't because. You can't
because. Or just you can't, man. Or like, you're not like them, or you're not worthy. You don't have this, enough of XYZ. Little things are like, I'll never's are like ego based. Like, I'll never have this. I'll never be able to do
I can't have that. I can't do that.
I want to go to Italy, but I can't. I just can't. I can't afford it. Or, you know, that stuff is a constant. And that's what people use affirmations. But I think it's nice recognizing that thought period and just being like, you know what? This isn't true.
Yeah. No thanks.
On. Yeah.
So that's a good tool, actually. Is recognizing the thought that doesn't serve you, and then, you know, and recognizing that and say no to the thought and replace it with something else that does serve you.
Just, or clear it. Sometimes I like will just be like, no, that's not true. Let's move on and focus my attention on to like what I'm actually trying to achieve. That's something. But like, you know, some people like to use affirmations to replace it. I mean, who knows? I know that I think we should talk about the meditation we went to. We went to this meditation.
It's beautiful meditation. Beautiful meditation.
It was for the full moon, and I was really excited about it. So I got on Meetup, and I was like, let's do this. And I dragged her. You know, we bought a couple other people who were skeptical, to put it nicely. And they're open, but they just weren't in. That's not something
they're open, but they
practiced.
Yeah.
And we were running late. I am I'm a Virgo, and I like structure a lot, so I get like really like stressed out when we're not on the schedule. Even like, I don't know, like with everything, I'll do like my schedule, and then whenever we're like off, I'm like, oh no, what's going on? And so we're downtown, and parking downtown. And
parking downtown in Pittsburgh is a feat, especially for some reason everything happens at the same time when there's events. There's always, like, a concert, an art show, some theater performance, all at the same time. So parking was really hard, and it was all inflated because of these special events that were occurring.
Oh, a Steelers game.
A Steelers game. And so we had to drive pretty far, and then we had chairs because we brought chairs.
Yeah, so this, in Pittsburgh, we have 3 rivers, but there's actually 4.
Yeah, there are actually 4.
The 4th one's underground, and there's like a big crystal that like runs through. We learned. I didn't know there was a crystal down there, but I guess
glacial water.
Yeah, and the meditation we were doing was for the full moon. It was on the full moon, and it was at the point, and
at this power center.
Yeah, we learned it's actually like a vortex. That's something we could talk about, is like the energy vortex in Pittsburgh in one of the episodes. But there's a lot of energy there, and that's why this meetup group chose to do the meditation there.
At that point, yeah.
And they actually had like the pyramid, and you put your crystals in. So I had parking in mind, but there were all of these events, so we had to like drive around the city, and we're running late. And this is the strategy I have. If I am going to a group and I don't know anybody, I don't like to walk in whenever it starts, so I like to be early so I can like at least introduce myself to a couple people. And I was like joking with her when we were walking. I was like, this is what I do, and we're not going to do that. We're going to walk right in the middle of it. And she's like, hard eye roll.
Stress sweating.
Yeah, so we're carrying like these chairs and our crystals and blankets and, the light, trying to get to the point, like clear across downtown Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And we get there, and luckily it didn't like start.
Mm-hmm.
It was a decent sized turnout, but everybody was so nice. And you could feel the energy, I think, as soon as like
as soon as you got there, and as soon as like the first meditation occurred, it was beautiful. So beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, like, so like I said, there was this pyramid at the power like center, and we put our like crystals and stuff under it. There were incense, candles.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
There was like a circle, and we go around the circle, and we like introduce ourselves, and we say like what we do, and it was really cool being around other Reiki practitioners.
Yes.
I would say, because we were saying earlier, we're homebodies. Most of our following is, our business is based on the internet.
It's based on the internet, and we have a beautiful community
online.
If you're listening to this from Twitter, like, you are awesome. Mm-hmm. There's so many beautiful people that follow us on the internet, and we interact with the internet, but we didn't know that really existed locally.
Yeah, when Pittsburgh, I don't think metaphysical hub. But
no, never.
LA and places like that. Sedona, Arizona, and there's certain places you think instantly like, oh, yeah, there's
New
magic
Orleans.
there. Yeah, New Orleans. You're like, oh yes, but Pittsburgh, you didn't know, but then we learned there's this big vortex here, and we start meeting all these people who actually were looking for other people too.
Yeah,
and that was like really cool to me, but. Aside from just Reiki practitioners, there were a lot of other healers there, a lot of people into just really cool stuff.
There's, people who are into Buddhism and other healing practices and mindfulness practices.
Yeah, and I mean, there were just people there who meditated, but not everybody there had, like, some sort of, like, thing, and we did chants, which was really nice, singing bowl they had. One thing that was really therapeutic is that they went around the group and they asked everybody, like, what do you want to release?
Yes. And what are you asking for? Like, what? That was nice. Really nice. At first I was, like, taken back because I don't like to put myself out there.
Yeah, we didn't say anything the first...
we didn't.
The first round. Because
No.
it was the first time... different people were leading the meditations. They were taking turns, and they each had different types of like healing and things like that they were into. Different types of guided meditations. Yeah. We did stuff. We were by the water, so we did stuff with the water. A lot of divine feminine energy. which I really appreciate because I've been like really interested in that. Obviously, like moon, we were using the energy of the moon and stuff, but the first time they just were asking people to volunteer, and our group, nobody. We were silent. Like,
silent.
Just
that's just a quirk I have. I'm working through it. Working on it.
Yeah.
What's out there?
I mean, by the end of it, though, we're drinking the healing water, and we're like, oh, I'm trying to release self-doubt and be more creative.
By the end of this 2-hour-long meditation,
we're like hugging everybody.
We're hugging everybody. Really came out of the shell, and we will definitely be there every full moon. You catch us at the point.
We were asking, are you guys doing new moon meditations? We were like planning ahead. But one of the things that happened that stuck out to me and to you. So we're doing this. We're actually doing. Is it a Vedic?
Yeah,
chant?
I think it was a Vedic.
And the sound stuff was just like powerful. So we're in this group and we're like going shroom,
Yeah. All
in a group. And then remember we're in a park and it's in like night and this girl comes over and I heard her voice in the distance. It was a distant voice, and I'm thinking if nobody says anything, she will leave us alone. And like. God, we are in. Just let me like give you guys a picture of what this was like. We're dead center at the point.
Dead center.
There's like these rivers, but it's a park. It's a park.
State
so
park,
we're
yeah.
in the center of it with this big ass pyramid with a bunch of crystals and shit.
A shit ton of crystals.
There's scents everywhere. There's candles. There's all like we're there, and then we're all like collectively doing mantras and hearing singing bowls. So I mean, if you didn't know what was going on, I'm sure it was a spectacle. And nobody said anything, though, except for this one girl. And I heard her voice, and she's like, what are you guys doing? Oh, my God. That's how she sounded.
What are you doing? Like, in the distance, and it cut closer and closer and closer until she was behind me. I was so...
Oh, my God.
I whipped my head so fast and looked at her. She broke our meditation. Like, she broke it.
My heart was beating.
By the sound of it.
We instantly were thinking defense mode. I'm thinking these people aren't going to defend. They're not going to do anything. Her and I are going to have to take over.
You got me fucked up.
Yeah, I'm like...
You had this Reiki master, mindfulness practitioner pissed off.
We're the oldest in our family. I like to think that we're like... Protectors. I mean, I definitely resonate as an indigo for sure.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, heck no. Like, I looked at her and, like...
I thought to myself, I said, you see that we're busy here.
Yeah.
Like, you're interrupting this. Like, you can see that we are doing shit.
I thought she was going to be mean. I definitely thought... I was ready for, like...
I wasn't to be mean, but I thought she was going to be, like, have her phone out and recording and, like...
Yes,
That's what I thought. I didn't think she was going to be mean. I thought she was just being, like, maybe a drunk person or whatever. Because we were there. It was a Saturday night. And... she was fine, but we were the only ones that, like, whipped her head. We whipped her head so hard.
No, I thought she was going... The other thing I was afraid of, before you say what happened, I was afraid, too, that somebody was going to think we were doing some sort of, like, dark magic or something. Like, people, you see, like, crystals and stuff, that whole
sometimes people will
think,
think of,
oh, you're this, you're into this, whatever. And I thought she was going to go on, like, some sort of weird, like, tirade
evangelical rant?
Yeah, or something like that. And instead... she's just like not, but what go ahead, what were you saying?
What I was saying is I whipped my head, you whipped your head, and our guests whipped their heads. And eyes open, mean mug. Like 100%. Like, why, we're busy, what are you doing? And everybody else in the circle was completely chill.
Completely chill. And the guy that's running this, he's
this current meditation,
guiding the meditation. She's like, what are you guys doing? And it's like really high-pitched voice. And then he just looks at her and he's like, hello, friend. And that was the most powerful thing.
Yes.
One of the most powerful. There were a lot of really cool things that happened that night. But that stuck with me because just to be able to not be defensive.
Yes.
That made me realize like how much work I need to do spiritually with myself to not look at everybody like they're going to attack me.
Like it's a problem.
Yeah, like this person is not... this person wants to harm me in some way. Or this person, prepared. Like I was prepared
to not come
to
out.
defend myself.
Yeah, to not come out of a point of defense and anger. That's crazy. That you felt the same way. I felt the same way too. That's really crazy.
It was like a click. It just
that was
like
a click. It was
me.
like I need to be more mindful of the way I react to people and the way I look at things.
But I felt like I need to not be so defensive whenever I interact with people. That's what stuck out me because I'm always like, and this is all like whatever conditioning, things that happen in my life, like, for some reason I feel like I have to have, like, a guard up sometimes. And, like, with that girl, I didn't even know her, but I instantly thought she was going to do something to provoke the group, and I need to protect the group from this negative energy coming towards us.
Throw crystals at people, take a singing bowl and throw it at them.
I instantly thought, I was like, this is when we're going to have to go home because she's going to provoke something. And when I say provoke, I mean, like you were saying, like, start recording us and keep interrupting us. Or she's going to start saying all this negative stuff to us because she doesn't understand what we're doing. And
you assume the worst.
I went straight to the worst.
Yeah.
And I do feel like that moment made me realize how defensive I am, and how, like, driving, like, you're obviously be defensive when you're driving, like, keep your eye on the road, but you're, looking like, oh, why did that person ride me? Like, why did that person cut me off? But in reality, like, maybe that person's driving really fast because they need to get to the hospital.
Yeah. Or, like, what if their life is just really not good, and that's just how the cookie is crumbling right now for them?
Yeah, like, something in their head. Like, there's something.
Something's wrong. Like, they're stressed because they go to work, or they're stressed because, like you said, they have to go to the hospital or something. And to not always come out of a place of, that person's an asshole, or that person sucks. Like, they should go somewhere.
Or they don't like me
personally. They don't like me personally. I mean, meanwhile, you have no idea what the hell is happening in their lives. Yeah. And it's not you at all. You just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, like, I was reading a book. I don't know. We do a lot of studying, but somebody had said something to me.
We're in spiritual college.
Yeah, we're in spiritual college. Definitely. And this stuck with me. It was like, not everybody's at a different place in their spiritual evolution. And just because somebody's coming off as a dick doesn't mean that you're better, per se. It means that they still have work to do spiritually. And they're still working, just like, we're working on our spiritual growth. And that you have to be patient with people like that. And, like, by not, like, you try to understand, along what you were saying, like, understand where they're coming from. And that it might not necessarily be you. It's just, coming from a place of love, I guess. Like, greeting that with love. To approach
everything with love.
Yeah, and that's what happened at this ceremony. So he says, hello, friend. Instantly, we're hit with that, and then he goes, she's like, what are you doing? And he says, we're meditating. And she said, oh, and then she's like, oh, I interrupted that, I am so sorry. And then he said, well, you're welcome to join. And then other people in the group were saying the same thing. They're, like, engaging with, like, yeah, do you want to join us? Instantly, arms wide open, come hang out with us. And then she's, like, asking all these questions, and one of the other group leaders, he was like, oh, come with me, I'll tell you more about it. And that was it. So she might genuinely show up at the next full moon, and if she does show up, it's because she was greeted with love, not leave us alone.
Place of anger.
Yeah.
And that's great that you had the same reaction I had, because I thought the same thing. I was like, okay, well, I definitely have to do some self-reflection and switch that thinking and stop coming out of a place of defense and come more of a place of love and be more open and more welcoming, period. Like, everywhere I go, come out of a place of love. Everything you say, like, be grateful and thankful that you get the coffee, or you give the $1 to the home, like, whatever. Just come out of a place of love. If you're in the car and someone does something that irritates you, just delete it. Come out of a place of love. Whatever. Everything. If you're not like, people don't like you, that's their problem, not yours.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's hard to do. It is definitely hard to do, but I couldn't believe that experience. I thought,
that was beautiful.
Man, you guys are next level. I was
like, this is our collective.
I'm over here calling myself a Reiki master, and I'm like, I am a Reiki master, by the way. I'm not.
Yeah, we're literally.
I'm definitely a Reiki master, but I mean, and I felt like I was very patient with a lot of people, but that just made me realize that I still have some
work to do.
I thought it was really powerful, but I mean, after the ceremony, we were talking to people. And we met a lot of really cool people.
And we actually spoke with the channeler.
Oh, it's time for the channeler?
I want to talk about her. I don't want to say her name because she is a very private person, and we would like her permission before we disclose her identity.
Yeah. Yes, and I think that this is a new gift of hers as well.
Yeah, or more recent, maybe. but it seems like she's still trying to, gather how to combat life with these abilities.
Yeah, because I think you have to learn how to manage the information that's coming towards you. And I don't know the depths of her gift as well.
Yeah,
it seems like it's still evolving. So we found out, I had a feeling she was a channeler because I was sitting across from her and I saw her face and she said something like along the lines when we were introducing ourselves that, her angels had guided her there. And in my head, I was like, oh yes, here we are. We're reading Doreen Virtue, remember?
Yeah, so we're all in.
Yeah.
And so many questions. And we get the chance to talk to her at the end.
Well, the message she gave, that was our tip off.
Oh, yeah, that was the tip.
We end it and we're all holding hands and, they do some energy stuff and then once again, everybody's supposed to say something and I was silent because I didn't have anything for that. And then our girl, she broke out and she was like, Mother Mary wanted me to tell you guys. She gives us this message about how she's so happy we were all there and it was a very love-filled message. And I'm not going to lie, my eyes shot open and I made eye contact with her because I was so excited. And her and I were talking, we were like, we have to definitely control our questions.
Yeah, we don't want to fangirl her.
Yeah, you would have thought she was friggin' Beyonce.
Yeah, you would have thought she was Beyonce or something because it's just amazing.
We love it.
Love it.
So she
we can't approach her unless she approaches us.
Yeah, no, seriously, we don't want to overwhelm her.
We don't want to overwhelm her.
I was joking with Arlene, and I'm like, her guys are gonna tell her, you might want to sit over there. Don't sit next to those.
Don't sit next to them because they're asking a lot of questions.
They love you so much, a little too much.
The love they have is outpouring over you. But she was such a nice person, and we couldn't. As soon as it ended,
should we tell them how we were introduced to her?
How were we introduced to her?
You don't remember the details. I remember the details.
So. The energy from this meditation was so intense for me. I was just swirling instantly.
She fell down a flight of stairs.
No, you guys, that's later.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's horrible. The energy for me was really uplifting, and I was high on life, 100%,
Guys,
in the clouds,
man.
happy, pure joy, love energy, goddess energy, moon energy flowing through my body.
Oh, it was great,
nonstop. I'm still feeling some of it, when I let go and
I'm getting into meditating fast. Whenever I go
faster. Every time I do my daily practice, I go on faster, and it's beautiful. It was I was swirling.
So we're walking around and we're talking to everybody, and there's this one guy. He's so cool. He does the singing bowls, and we're talking to him. And I don't know how we got into the subject of our friend, our channeler, but turns out she's really close with him, and they do stuff meditations and stuff like that together. And he goes, yeah, she's my friend, she's amazing. And I said, can I meet her?
we were meeting Oprah.
Oh my gosh.
Or Michelle Obama. Can I meet her?
I had my dream, remember?
Yeah.
I asked him, and he's so nice, and he was like, yeah, totally, come with us. And so her and I, we had our buddy with us, and we're all kind of nervous. We had blankets on, so we probably looked so... Any onlookers probably thought we're high off of this, moon energy, and it was getting cold, so we all had, these blankets wrapped around us.
On, yeah.
And we walk up to her, and she's just like, hello. And we start asking her questions.
I asked her, is there anything is there anything with me right now?
Oh, yeah. So this was the whammy. She goes, this is another lesson. Because we've been doing a lot of energy work, clearing. We're trying to clear any negative attachments, even down to karmic stuff. Just trying to get any kind of dull energies that have been holding us back released.
Yes. Any
kind of whenever you start doing this type of stuff, you're a beacon, and you can also have entities and stuff attached to you. So energies in that regard. So we've been trying to release all of that, and really moving forward. Mm-hmm. So keeping that in mind, that's some of the stuff we're working on. Arlene asks her, is there anything, she's straight to the point. She's like, is there anything attached to me? And my heart was like, oh, she's going all in.
I could not ask her. I could not check in. Just check in. I had to. Mm-hmm. because she, like,
you could tell.
You could tell that she was seeing things around, and I wanted to know. Like, every time I made a look at her, I thought maybe she was seeing something around me. Like,
she was.
You know.
Remember, she said
she was.
Oh wow, she saw a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah, because being in public places is very overwhelming for her. Because everybody walking, you know, all the energies and like the history and stuff like that of the area.
She told. I thought she said too that whenever she does these group things, everybody's so open to these energies and have these like guides and stuff. Everybody has guides with them, but like it's very clear. She said it's much more like clearer when she's around like
people who
somehow like we're lifting the vibration. Somehow it's much clearer when she does these big groups, and she's like you said, she gets overwhelmed. And so I went straight to the point and I asked her, is there anything attached to me? Because we've been working on this a lot. Yeah.
And told me that I had my spirit guide on my right.
She said, well, it was like suspenseful. So she goes,
drum roll.
She was like, yes, there is. And so
my heart skipped.
There's 3 of us. It's our friend and us, and all of us were like, oh, and she goes, it's on your right side. And so our friend like steps over a little bit.
Sidesteps, yeah.
And then I'm just like, oh no. And then she goes, it's just your guide. And like you could feel the weight of everything. We were like, oh.
I said, all right.
Yeah. And so then our buddy's like, is there anything attached to me? Because he's like working on similar things.
Yeah.
And she goes, there's something behind you. And so his face is like, oh no.
Yeah, color left, yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, it's a relative. So she proceeds to tell him that he has like this relative who loves him very much and is guiding him, and that was very important for him, and it made sense for what's going on in his life. And so knowing that, I'm a very emotional person, so I'm starting to get the feels. I'm like, oh no. And then I'm like, is there anything attached to me? And I had like the mousiest voice. Yeah. And she goes, there's something above you. And now at this point, I'm like, oh, I better not be the one that has something. Yeah. You know? And she's like, it's an angel. And that was like the most wonderful thing in the world. That was so cool to me.
That was cool.
Just all 3 of us having like these loving energies with us, and I mean mine was like floating above my head, and
I feel like because we were uncertain of the people and like the area, we were calling in all our defense. Period.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I was. Like,
I was too, but
see again the defensiveness. Like we're going into this group of light and love, and all of us don't trust nobody.
Trust nobody.
Yeah.
Trust nobody. But that's. Like I said, it's stuff that we're working on, and next time we'll be way more open. And I think by being more open and less coming out of a place more of love and, you know, positivity, it's going to attract more good.
Yeah, and I mean, we're definitely...
Because that was clear as day. When he came at her nicely and not in an annoyed tone or in a aggravated tone, it changed everything.
Yeah, and I mean, even our, the channeler, like, us automatically expecting we might have had, like, we have some negative attachment to us.
That's a problem.
And, that made me think, like, oh, okay, yeah, like, I definitely need to focus my, like, healing on removing those belief systems. Like, for sure. So, and I also feel like it was very helpful and nice meeting other people who were on the same, like, not people just online that we're talking to on our Twitter and on like Instagram and
our website and stuff.
Yeah, and we've met people into this stuff in person. We have a lot of friends who are into
alignment.
So we do talk to people. It's not like we're isolated, but to meet people from varying backgrounds
and generations
and different age groups, people who have been practicing for a very long time.
Yes.
Who are so, like, knowledgeable, just to meet and be around all of those people in one place and on the vortex.
Was fucking awesome. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. And we will be doing this every single full moon and we're going to have to do new moon as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was so cool. And
Etta's Virgo kicked in and we're like, we need to get this planned. Like, come on. Get this planned.
I'm pulling my calendar out.
We did.
I had my calendar out, I'm not going to lie. I was like, so all of the moon energy, are we going to do these for all of them? And they're like, well, we just started. So it's like a collective too.
Yeah.
It's not anything that is like one person is in charge.
6 people started it.
Yeah, and their story, if I understand correctly, they all had just happened to go to the vortex point to meditate during a different full moon. Yeah, and so then they were like, yeah, this is divine guidance. We need to get the ball rolling and invite more people. And we told them, like, we're going to invite as many people as we know because they want to have that, like, energy there. We already have a list of people, and we're probably going to advertise it on our Twitter. And
so if you're listening to this and you are in the Pittsburgh area, you can join us at the point on the full moon. Every full moon. Unless otherwise guided not to.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we'll have that information on our social media accounts. If you join our mailing list, we might do a blast. I don't know. We'll see what we're feeling. Regardless, every month we send out distant Reiki. So if you're not in Pittsburgh and you want to feel that energy, we send out distant Reiki. And we actually invited some of the people from the session to join us. So sometimes you'll receive energy from more than just us.
Yeah, so instead of 2 Reiki masters, you'll get it from multiple.
Very powerful, very powerful, cool, knowledgeable, loving people. And you just have to sign up for our email list. And because for Reiki, everybody has free will, so you need to tell us that you are open to receiving. Yes. And we keep our mailing list because we know that is the group that wants Reiki. It's more because we have a lot of people on Twitter and stuff. So just saying on Twitter, "Hey, send me the Reiki," it's not enough. Like, we need you to send us an email confirming that. Yeah. And then that's how we know who we're sending it to.
But that's how we do it.
Everybody's different. That's how we do it, and Reiki's different for everybody, different practitioners, whatever. And, what we do is we invite everybody to, like, meditate at the same time, which is very powerful in its own right. People do group meditations all the time. And so we have all these people around the world. We all meditate, and then we send out Reiki to everyone. And it's very relaxing and nice. Mm-hmm. I think we should send Reiki to our listeners if they're open to receiving at the end of the episode. Okay. Because we were talking about maybe integrating Reiki into our listeners. If you don't know what Reiki is, side note, you can go to our website at arlene.com/Reiki, and we have a whole thing about what Reiki is. Basically, it's energy healing modality. You can do distant Reiki. How it works, Reiki goes to the ether, goes to you. That is, like, the most basic pared down explanation of how it works. But if you want more information about that, go to our website. Again, it's at arlene.com/Reiki. So yeah, if you're open to receive the Reiki energy, keep on listening and we will send it out. Reiki transcends time, space, and reality. So at any point in time you're listening to this, you will receive the energy. So what to do is, for your Reiki, you get comfortable. Yeah. You don't have to, this is what we like to tell our clients to do, sit in a seated position or lay down, get comfortable, meditate, and be open to receiving the energy. However, if you're busy, like driving, you do not have to do that. No. You just have to be open to receiving the energy. And it might make you a little bit sleepy, so don't keep driving. Don't listen to this while you're driving. Yeah, if you're doing this while you're driving, pause it and do this later. If you're working, this is fine. Yeah, working, it doesn't matter. As long as you're not operating a vehicle, don't do that. Yeah, so just the big thing is you have to be open to receiving. Yeah, that's it. Because it doesn't matter. We always recommend a meditative because we feel like the energy gets to you better. Yeah. But it does not matter. I've just plenty of times I've done Reiki just chilling. Me too. So I guess this Reiki will be just for happy, high vibe, let's emulate the vibrational full moon energy that we felt when we were at that. We're going to send you that. Alright, thank you for listening. And if you like this, subscribe and stuff. Follow us on our social media. Yep, subscribe, follow us on social media. We do quotes of the day and more positive messages every single day. Twitter, it's edpro_PGH. Instagram is at Etta Arlene. We're on Tumblr. We are on YouTube. We do distant Reiki videos on YouTube, so you can find videos in there as well. And if you would like to book a session or subscribe to one of our Reiki services, you can go to the Book a Session tab on our website. It's etarlene.com, and you can find that tab in the top navigation, and it'll also be linked down below. Okay, thanks for listening. If you would like Reiki, please keep listening, and then when the music stops, turn off your audio. All right, thank you. Thanks.